guys. I just want to introduce you to Robert Stevens. Okay? We just got out of a meeting, 1 million cups, and we went and have a coffee. We spoke in the past, but he's going to share something that happened sitting down in a Starbucks, understanding that God can use anybody to help anybody. So let me introduce you to Bob, and he's going to say a few things about what just happened. All right? Hold on. Okay, Bob, can you please describe in few words what is it that just happened in a Starbucks?
In my thought process, God brought me a connection that I never thought was possible. And basically, Carlos introduced himself to me, and I was struggling inside, doubting myself, and in fear of moving forward. And for some reason, Carlos recognized that in me, and just decided to talk to me. Like Carlos says, this is actually the second time. And I didn't listen the first time. And not expecting to have any conversation today, he again approached me. And so we decided to have coffee, and he helped me identify where the fear is coming from and where in my past it's been keeping me from moving forward. And basically explained to me that God has put inside of me everything that I need to be successful, and I just need to trust God and move forward. And he is building up my confidence, and it's going to help me move forward with building a company, to build out my brand, to begin to help those companies that are suffering from the change that's happening to all of us. The world is changing right in front of us. What I trust that I can do, what for some reason Carlos trusts that I can do, is to enable. Carlos helped me to identify myself as an enabler, to enable companies to transition, to use and trust my talents to move them from a current situation to a future situation where they're not struggling to keep up with technology on a regular basis. Together, we're going to build a roadmap, and I think that the way that that's going to happen is for us to sit down together and look at a current situation, define and assess where we are, figure out where we want to go, and then just build a step-by-step process to get from point A to point B. And we're going to do that through a 3-month 3 months of sessions, 3 months of working together, and then building...
Partner it up, I guess.
Partnering together. We coined the phrase enablement partner, which I love. And I want to do this with small businesses, but I also want to do it with nonprofits. And if I can help those nonprofits to become successful and to identify what the steps are to move forward, then we can do that with anyone. And I trust them. I mean, if they trust me, and as we become successful at this, we'll grow and become successful with their partners. And it will grow organically through just taking the first step, which is finding the first nonprofit and finding the first business out there that needs my help, and then providing them a service for free for 3 months and see where that takes us.
All right. So now, can you describe to the people that are watching this video, in very simple words, how was Carlos able to help you just by sitting down and having a coffee? How, in very simple words, very, very short, please.
Wow.
How I was able. Okay.
Carlos has a way of seeing through the different, what I call my different personalities, which we identified early on that all of us have those personalities. But he had a way of basically talking to each one of my different personas, which is, the professional me and the fun-loving me and the serious me and the family me, and really just kind of talking to each one of those and helping them all come together to have a common mission in mind, rather than all of us going in different directions, which is the way it feels. For some reason, God has given Carlos the gift to find people that are like-minded, like myself, that all of us have been through some kind of experience, and we more or less can relate to each other. So through Carlos's personal experience, I can relate to my personal experiences, which helps me to realize that we're all in this together, that we're all sharing common doubts, common fears, and to begin to help each other, to partner with each other, to use the talents that God's given each one of us to help each other, and to be confident, being confident in ourselves because others are confident in us and others trust us. Carlos has a direct way of approaching each roadblock. He also has an incredible memory of things that I've said in the past, and is able to pull back those, whether they're symbols or statements or experiences, and to pull them all together so that they make sense, and to use them to strengthen me and help me to have more confidence in myself, that I do know what I'm doing, that God has been in all those experiences, that somehow God is giving the same message to Carlos, so that he can help me see clearly what my struggles are and what those messages are supposed to be.
Okay, now let me ask you something. Can you please tell me, did I have to say anything, any advice, or have to give any advice, or have to say anything new, or where was all this information? Where was the answer to every single thing that we touched on?
Carlos told me that very first, is that all the answers were inside myself, and he was right. And God has equipped us with everything that we need to know. And the example that Carlos used was the oak tree seed. It's kind of it relates back to biblical, which is the mustard seed. The mustard seed has everything it needs to be. It's the smallest of seeds. It's the smallest thing in the planet, or in the fauna life or flora life. But yet it can grow into a mighty tree, and it's the same example here. Is that God has built all that up into us, inside of us, and He's given us and equipped us throughout our entire lives. And we just need to remember that it's there, and we need to plant that seed. And we need to let it grow. Let God nurture us. Let others nurture us. Let us partner with each other, and all that will come out. Carlos didn't give me anything that wasn't already there. He just helped me see that it was there. And likewise, I would like to say that all of us can reciprocate that back to each other if we just let it.
Now, just to finish the video, can you tell me exactly what is it that you do then?
So I'm a technologist. What I have the capability of doing is helping people understand what their current situation is, what their future situation is and build a roadmap that takes you from point A to point B, and then help you make the steps through enabling technology to get to point B. The key and secret behind that is not really a secret. It's just continually running the loop. Take the current situation, define a future situation, take a step. Take the current situation, find a future situation, take a step. I'm your partner to help you make that happen. When you can't do it, I can, or I can find the resources that will help you do it.
All right, now, is there anything that I know about your business? Anything?
No.
So I guess we can call this like a God moment, correct?
Yes, oh, definitely it's a God moment.
So basically, there was nothing in me about your business or the things that you know that I was going to be able to help you with, right?
No, this is all God's plan.
All right, so I was only able to help you because I understood that God has done all the work with you already. Is that correct?
Yeah, so let me tell you a story. About 6 months ago, I got a very clear message from God. He basically spoke to me on one of my many walks down the beach and said, listen, things are about to change for you. You're going to let them. And stop trying to control them because you're not in control, I am. And God's in charge. And when every time I start to doubt God or that this is his plan that I'm walking, he puts something in my life that redirects me.
So every time you doubt not only God but also what he has done in you, correct?
Yeah.
Because we have to identify those two things.
Sure.
Because if you trust God but you don't trust the work that he has done in you, then there we go, you're back in conflict, right? I just want to make a point right here.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very important point. And I really think that I was at a low point this morning, and I was doubting myself, and I was ready to just hang in the towel. And here comes trouble.
So basically,
God put it in my life.
What I hear is that you're saying that by trusting yourself and the work that God has done in you, you are trusting him. So if you're not trusting yourself, it's because you're not trusting God.
Amen.
Understanding that you have a new heart. He changed it.
He changes it every day. It's not really that different than what I'm saying is that I can do as a business. Is that here's a current situation, here's a future situation, and you just need to take baby steps to get from one to the other. But you have to trust each other. You have to trust that God has the right path for you to take. And sometimes you just need a little nudge. And I'm the nudge for businesses. Paul is the nudge for me. And that's God's way of putting us in your lives so that we can help you find your path and help you stay on the path. There's Pilgrim's Progress comes to mind. You know, if you've read Pilgrim's Progress, that's what it's all about. It's about staying on the path. Try to stay on the path. As much as you want to wander it off, you need to stay on that path. And trusting that God's path is the right path for you. And trusting in God that He's equipped you for every obstacle that's about to come in your life. And if you don't trust it, you're gonna go the way of many of the pilgrims that never made it.
And remember, this is not a religious channel, but this is about a truth channel. All right, so this is what is happening in his life, and this is what God has done in his life. At the same time that I already shared with you guys what God has done in my life. So please understand that he is trusting what God has done in his life. That is the main thing of this conversation. That this is a God moment. And we both agree that God is in everything. At all times. Everywhere.
God has a plan. We just have to agree to go along with it.
All right,
we
guys?
can fight him every step of the way and be miserable, or we can figure out what his plan is and listen to each other, knowing that he has the best thing in mind for us. And whatever that plan might end up taking us may not necessarily always be what we think it's supposed to be. In fact, most of the time it's not. It's the journey, And God knows that we need to go on a journey to learn from Him. There's things that He needs us to know before we can be wherever the ultimate goal is. And of course, those of us that believe, that's heaven. But
the ultimate goal for God on earth is for us to work together.
To love one another, to be brothers, and
to help each other. The Bible says, where there is two or more, He is in the midst of everything.
Yeah.
And that we're just trying to prove a point right here. That it took a lot for me to overcome to start talking to guys like Robert. Because in my mind, these guys were like so smart that it was impossible for me to help them.
Yeah,
and the only way this is happening is because I'm walking by faith. I'm not working by sight or by what I think about myself. I understand that God can use me for great, amazing things in people's lives. So, I see you with the next story about Robert. We're going to keep on moving, we're going to keep on growing, and we're going to keep on working and helping each other. Take care, guys. Say something, Mr. You say goodbye. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time.